Tonight we are celebrating legacies. Moshe Rabbeinu taught us in his final days, Binu Shnot Dor Vador, reflect upon your past. We recognize this evening that we stand on the shoulders of greats, and on those shoulders we can see vistas of a great future. The life of Rifka Benishai encapsulates the Jewish people. Born in 1946, mirrored the state of Israel. She became the matriarch of a remarkable family. She became the matriarch of heroes of Israel who currently defend the land. And she became the mother of Meir Benishai. The word Meir means to shine forth. And Meir shines forth the goodness of his mother, Rifka.
My mom was the most important thing in my life. She teach me to be kind to others, to help to whoever I can. I lost her 12 years ago. I miss her every day.
The new playground was an incredible addition to our school. It allowed a safe area for physical activity, social activity, and an overall well-being for our students.
Every morning when I bring my daughter, that her name is Rifka, like after my mom's name, and to think that she's playing in a beautiful park with more kids, that the park brings them happiness, and they can play outside, they can be together. It reminds me of my mom, it reminds me of my childhood as a kid. My mother, I'm sure that she sees that from up there, and she'd make her happy to see her granddaughter playing with other kids.
When you walk into the shul, I believe on the left side, there's a stone where my grandfather's name is engraved, and I think very fortunate to be one of the pillar families of the Addis and of the Hamilton Hebrew Academy, and I think it's befitting that the Welcome Center is named in his honor.
The thought of him welcoming his 4 great-grandchildren, and by extension, all of the children, is in turn very heartwarming.
He was my hero in every sense of the word. I think about him every single day. I like to think that he's a part of me, he's a part of my kids, and he's certainly a part of our family, and he's a part of this institution, of the Hamilton Hebrew Academy, in every possible way.
So the Waxman Welcome Center is extremely meaningful to the family. My father had the warmest heart of anyone I've ever known. So the thought of him welcoming his 4 great-grandchildren, and by extension, all of our children, is heartwarming in return. And my hope is that as we teach these children, from generation to generation, we go from strength to strength.
When they established the Hamilton Hebrew Academy, there were certain key people that stood by my father's side. And among them were Zoli and Yetta. Yetta was the president of the PTA. Zoli was the treasurer of the shul, of the school, and whatever needed to be done, he was there. One of the founding fathers of the Hamilton Hebrew Academy, and we are the beneficiaries of their great legacy. When I think about Zoli Freeman, I have an image of him singing Hallel. And these are psalms which are thanksgiving to God. But he was a person that responded to unspeakable darkness with a light which was indescribable. He chose a vocation that he was a candy maker. And he put smiles onto the faces of children, and he brought warmth to the hearts of everyone that he encountered. Many years ago, at their home, my father showed up on the eve of this festival, knocked on the door and said, "Zoli, I'm here to build you a sukkah." And what a sukkah is, it's a little hut that you feel the presence of God. And this resonated. And not only did they build that sukkah that day, but that became a legacy item. The Freeman Outdoor Pavilion Sukkah will be a platform for outdoor education, a platform that bridges worlds from the outside to the inside, opening up the minds, opening up the hearts, and just showing the full breadth of what education is.
I'm really happy and honored to dedicate the Arts and Sciences Center here at the Hamilton Hebrew Academy in memory of my father, Dr. Peter Salmon, and in honor of my mother, Mrs. Rosalind Salmon.
Dr. Salmon had a background, obviously, in the sciences, but he had the soul of an artist. And when God took away the use of his hands, he used his mouth to create beauty in this world.
My father, being a resourceful person and not wanting to sit and mope, began to take up art by painting with his mouth and producing some world-class paintings, at least in my opinion.
He became an educator later in life, but to him it wasn't about imparting information. It was about building people. It was about making this world a more beautiful place.
And that's why I think it's a fitting tribute to dedicate the Arts and Sciences Center here at the Hamilton Hebrew Academy, because I really feel that this is a special place that shares the same educational beliefs that my father had in ensuring each kid reaches their potential, whatever that may be.
Sonny Netkin was known as Sonny Boy Banana. But before Sonny Boy Banana, he was simply known as Sonny Boy. And as a young child, the world called him that because he radiated a light and he shined.
Sonny had a certain way about him. He was bigger than life. And everyone that met him knew him as Sonny, not as Melvin, as Sonny. That was his nickname from a very, very young age. And it just described him perfectly. He was a ray of sunshine all the time.
I loved the way that he was so friendly to whether you were his friend, his family, or the person that worked at Costco. He had the same energy toward everybody. No matter what, he treated everybody with kindness. And that's something that I like to do in my own life.
He had the ability, in terms of his character, to dispel darkness and to make that light shine.
Anywhere I went, whether it was in Hamilton, Toronto, Miami, everybody knew my father. He was so humble within himself, but yet a celebrity at large. He had that, he exuded just charm and charisma, and he really was just one of my best friends, and I loved him dearly.
The very first dinner held by the Hamilton Hebrew Academy was in honor of Sam Netkin. And here, 6.5 decades later, we are inaugurating Sonny Way.
The Academy has always been a special place in our family, started by my grandfather. And to have Sonny's Way as the new entrance to the Hebrew Academy is a fitting tribute to Sonny and to my family's legacy.
One of the first transformative projects of our school in recent years was the Library Learning Commons. That became the heart, the hub of our school.
This library is now being used by our granddaughters and by our grandchildren, as my parents and my mother in particular loved books, loved Sfarim, loved Tehillim, and she is watching from Shemaim.
When I think about Leora's grandparents, I feel a very strong presence in the room. I feel two very, very, although quiet and unassuming people, but people who had with them a real strength and a real presence of mind, a real refinement, a real control of themselves, and the desire to really bring important ideas to the people around them.
Reading was something that was so important to them, and that's why my husband thought it would be a beautiful idea for their legacy, for them to be memorialized in this way. And when my kids sit and read there, it's really special for me that it's under their name, and it's something they'd be so proud of.
For us, I think it was very important that the type of space that was put together, which the vision the school had, was very much a friendly, beautiful, very, very welcoming place, which was very much what they were about.
I have 2 daughters and 2 sons in the school. The HHA is a really magical, special place, and I think the library is the heart of this very magical place. It means so much to me that, you know, that my grandparents are a part of that, and their legacy and love is part of that as well.
The Wiesenthal family is a remarkable and inspiring family for our community. Hamilton was a station in their great journey, but a pivotal station where they built the home for their children and infused them with the ideals of our people. Their family made Aliyah. Their children defended the land of Israel. And they are an example of all the ideals that we aspire towards as a school. In truth, the dedication of the lunchroom in Rabbi Eisenstein's memory is most fitting.
Rabbi Eisenstein, may he rest in peace, was a beacon of light, positive energy everywhere. And in the lunchroom, that's where he told the most amazing stories.
Having the lunchroom being dedicated to Rabbi Eisenstein is so incredible. This is where his passion shone the brightest, when he would bench every day. He'd be holding back his tie, Rachamim.
That lunchroom wasn't just a lunchroom for eating. That's where you had the Maccabea events, all the special things that was happening in the school. That's where they happened.
While the whole school permeated his energy for many, many decades, that lunchroom, from my experience as a student, was his holy sanctum, was his temple, was his holy of holies. And out of that center became the unifying experience of the school, predicated upon love. And his legacy was a legacy of love. And what we aspire to be as a community is to perpetuate the legacy of Rabbi Eisenstein and to be able to bring the entire school, the entire community, the entire people and nation together in a state of oneness.